Hey ladies, Nice Girl Jen here, Jennifer Delatorre, creator, founder of Nice Girls Finish Last. This is actually a topic I was going to do in my Facebook group. It was a request by a member in the group, but I wanted to actually go live on my timeline because I figured this would be a subject that many of you are interested in learning and also may have a problem with. And then I would have the ability to share it. So I'm going to go live here on my timeline. And so as you are watching, let me know if this is something that you struggle with, which of course is managing your time. Why is this so hard for people to do? And I'll be honest, I've been working on time management for years now. And am I better today than I was years ago? Oh yeah, I am. But I still mess up. I still mess up managing my time even to this day, and there's always room for improvement, right? So if you are guilty of doing any of these things that kind of just makes you lose your mind at the end of the day, spinning around, I mean, it's fine. We all do it. Hey, Veronica, what's going on? So anyways, so here are some things that happen when you don't manage your time well. Well, you always say things like this. Oh, there's never enough time in the day. You know, I never have enough time. I'm so busy. You know, and my husband actually posted today that busy equals broke. And what does that mean? Hey, Kim. Well, you know, for me, poor management of your time and focusing on things that are not going to give you a return, are not urgent matters, that are not very important, but we feel like if we just keep moving and keep moving, that we're getting something done. No, that doesn't mean that you're necessarily getting anything done. Maybe some useless, unimportant things perhaps, but not like the things that really matter and that actually make change in your life, in your business, and so on. So anyways, thanks for joining. Don't be afraid to say hi and show some hearts. Okay, so here we go. There are certain things called time vampires. We like to refer to them as your TV. That's one of them, what it stands for. Here's another thing that eats up your time. Answering unexpected phone calls. How many of you do that? Now, I know with our cell phones these days, we get a call and we answer. We see a number coming in we don't recognize. We'll be like, oh, yeah, I don't know who that is. And we screen it. But if you do recognize who's calling, a friend, a coworker, maybe someone on your team, yes, prioritize, or whatnot, you'll pick it up. Your mom, you'll pick it up. But if you didn't have it scheduled, and this is the time that you should be working on your business or whatever you're doing, then you shouldn't be answering those calls. And that is one that I know is very hard for people because they want to answer and see what's going on. The only time I answer an unexpected call is if they call like back to back, because now I'm like, whoa, something must be happening. There's some urgent matter. And if I pick up that phone call and come to find out it's not, they just really want to get a hold of me. Yeah, that really bugs me. Now I'm just like, okay. So anyways, answering unexpected phone calls, and doing things that are not useful, like watching TV. What else? Scrolling on your Facebook and stuff like that. Hey. Okay, so here are actually, let me see, actually I don't even know how many numbers I have. Five things that you can do starting today so that you can better manage your time and have a more productive day. Now, a lot of times we feel like, okay, it's been a year since I've set these particular goals, or 5 years or whatever. I'm really not much further. Chances are, good chances are, it's because you don't know how to manage your time well, and you got a lot of days going by where you don't get anything productive done, you're not making any movement, and so on. So let's start with these 5. You guys work this into your schedule, into your life, and then you'll see this huge change and shift going on. So number 1, tame the interruptions, okay? So again, don't answer that phone call that you weren't expecting. Does this apply to your business if, let's just say, that's a way of people calling in and setting orders by, calling in and you have to answer the phone? No, but you shouldn't be the one doing all of that. You should have somebody on your staff taking those orders so that you can do other things to grow your business, right? So answering the phone when you don't have a scheduled call. Stop scrolling social media with no purpose. Are you on there to post something about your business? Are you on there to market? Or are you just on there because you're just like, yeah, I got 5 minutes. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me just scroll Facebook. That is a huge time vampire, by the way. All right. Maybe checking your text messages when you know It's personal, has nothing to do with business. When I ran my call center, I had a no cell phone rule because, hello, we're a call center and we're answering calls like all day long. So you don't have time for your cell phone. Well, just as my employees had to not answer their phone calls, same thing with me. And I didn't care who was calling. Right now I'm taking care of business. If you're not calling me on my business line, we will talk when I have personal time, right? All right, number 2, make and use lists. Lists are important. Let me tell you why. Hey, Shanna. You need to go ahead, first of all, and schedule everything. Have a schedule for, your days, your weeks, your months, and even your year if you have to. And then have a to-do list. You need to know what you need to get done that next day. If you need to sit and evaluate the night before, okay, let's see. You want to put urgent stuff first and then go down the list. And then you want to make sure you tackle all of those big things and those important things first, right? And then move on to the things that are not that important. Because you know what? If you don't have enough time to get those unimportant things off your list, you can add them to tomorrow's list and there's no deadline, there's no urgency. So you're still good. You're still making things happen. Create deadlines. So if you're like, hey, I need to get this project done, set a deadline for yourself. Don't just start working. You need to have something to push for and to keep you on schedule. Let's see. I don't want to jump ahead. So let me make sure I don't mention this point and I have it down somewhere else. Okay, no, I don't. So I do like to have time limits to what I'm going to do, because sometimes if you get, especially if you're like me and you're creative and your mind starts going, you're like, hey, I could do it this way. Hey, I could do it that way. And then you get off track. I actually spent a few hours, what was I trying to figure out? I think it was video editing, just trying to figure it out. Was that really productive? No. Are my unedited videos still going to make me money? Yes. But I was determined to make it work. And were there other things I should have been doing? Yeah, but whatever. I should have scheduled time to figure that out. Okay, number 3, avoid doing things like errands when you know the masses are going to be doing them, because then you're going to spend more time waiting in line, through traffic. Why would you go to the store at 5 p.m. if you don't have to, right? Because traffic. As soon as you leave, you're like, oh, great, here we go. It's going to take me 30 minutes to get to a place. It could have taken me 10. Big waste of time. Going to the grocery store when you know the masses are going to be there. Let's see. So what is that? Midday, or weekends, that's like midday. So you don't want to go then. And weekdays, it's like 4 to 6 p.m., something like that. So if you can, and you are creating your own schedule, hey, Jody, then you should go when you know the least amount of people are going to be there. Or don't hit up the bank trying to, get some things figured out on Friday when everyone's cashing in their paychecks and waiting in line and all of that. Okay, so that's one way you could save a lot of time. Number 4, automate everything that you can. If there's any way for you to automate something that you're doing, find a way and make it happen. So if you're posting on multiple platforms on social media, then you may want to check out Hootsuite if you haven't already, or maybe some other ones that you know of or can find. And then that way you can have posts going out everywhere without you having to visit everywhere. A lot of times, some people don't know this, but on your fan page, and let's say you're not using a system like Hootsuite, then you could actually schedule your posts. So you could sit there on a Sunday night when you actually, hey, got some free time, and you could use that time productively, and you could schedule when you want things to go out on your page. If you didn't know that, check it out, and I could put a screenshot here later if you want to know how to do that. So if I want to post something today that's going to go out Saturday at 10 a.m., I can do that. And then guess what? That's one less thing I have to do, or several things less I have to do throughout the week. Okay, number 5, and this is important, and this one really is for my nice girls because we have a hard time doing this. Be stingy with your time. What does that mean? Stop saying yes to everything just because you feel bad not to say yes. Stop overcommitting yourself when you haven't even sat down to figure out if you actually can commit to that. Hey, I've done that, and sometimes I still do it. And we want to help, and we want to be there for somebody, and we want to whatever, but you got to make sure you actually have the time to do it. Otherwise, it's just going to be a huge yes. I think we all are, to be honest. And we want to help, and that's good. There's no reason why you shouldn't try to help somebody. And sometimes that does mean moving your schedule around a little bit in order to make it happen. Good for you. But if you find that it is like a consistent thing, and now you are just like rolling around and causing problem after problem into your life, into your business, into whatever, because you are not sticking to a schedule and being stingy with your time, then that could be very damaging. So be stingy with your time. Let's say you work in an office and one of your employees comes in, or somebody that you train messaged you, but you're busy doing something at the time. Then, hey, can you talk? I need to answer. Actually, right now I can't, but hey, 4:30 I can. Let's talk then. Don't be afraid to say that. You're still helping them out, but you're talking to them in a little window where you know you've got 10, 15 minutes to spare, and do it then. Feel like chicken with the head cut off. Yeah. And that's not a good feeling to have, right? And it also just kind of ruins your plans. And honestly, I think that's why a lot of people can't accomplish goals. That's why me and Joe always say make decisions, because you've decided to make it done. And if you've decided to make something happen, then you're going to have a plan of attack. But when you just make a goal, it's hard to reach a goal, because it's like, hey, I would like to do this. Hey, Hillary. But you get so caught up doing all of these unproductive things. You're not stingy with your time. You don't really have a to-do list, and on and on and on, that you feel like a chicken with your head cut off, and then you don't get any further at all. Hey, Greta. So please be stingy with your time. It's not being rude. It's actually just being smart. No one said you couldn't make time for people, but hey, pencil it in, right? All right, and a bonus. Oh, and by the way, I do want to go back real quick, because I think this is really important. You really should make a to-do list, because if you've got it like sitting on your desk as you're doing whatever you're doing, you cross it off. And number one, it feels good to cross that off. Hey, Evelyn. And number two, it keeps you on track. You know how many times, okay, think of this. You ever make like a grocery list, and then you go to the store and you left it on the kitchen counter, and now you're off the top of your head like, well, I know I needed milk, and well, I think I need eggs, blah, blah. And then you get home and find out that you forgot like 5 things. Same thing with a to-do list. So if you have a to-do list, you're like, all right, emailed, bam. Scheduled this, bam. If you don't make a to-do list and it's not in your face to look at all day long, then you're going to forget what you had to do. Some things may not be that important, some are, but at the end of the day, it all carries over to the next day, and pretty soon you're even further behind. You feel stressed out. You're like, oh, I can't make business work, and blah, 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 and making excuses. No, it's because you're not managing your time well. Yeah, well, you know, that's on them making you feel guilty. I'm sure there's been plenty of times that you've asked for help in one way or the other, and they were like, oh, I can't, oh, and you're like, yeah, okay. I forget all the time. I know, we all do. Oh, and I do have a bonus for you ladies. Every day I have to, that's good, that's excellent. I do have a bonus one for you. Yeah, we all can get like that. So that's why it's important to go over these. If you guys missed them, you guys can watch the replay, but I do have a bonus for you. If possible, schedule certain activities when you feel the most energized, and then you'll be more motivated to do it. So if you are someone that just comes alive at night, maybe you need to schedule your stuff for that time of the day. Me, I want to say I feel most energized between like 10:30 and 1 or something like that. So if I've got a lot of work that needs to get done and I've got my energy drink or my coffee or whatever with me, I feel pumped up to like make it happen. When I don't feel very energized is at 3 o'clock when it's time to pick up kids from school, and I know it's going to be all about homework and dinner and all of that. I don't feel very motivated to get things done. So that should be considered in your schedule so that you can not be stressed out and not feel guilty for spending some personal time taking care of personal matters. Make a not to-do list. Yeah. Oh, don't be afraid to do that as well, especially as your business grows. Don't be afraid to hand off activities of things that you don't need to do. Like I said earlier in the live, if you have to answer calls because it's part of getting orders, have someone else do it. You have other things to do than sitting there answering all these calls. And what else are you getting done? So I like that, Veronica. Thanks for adding that. Okay, ladies, thanks for watching. If you know some other ladies that are running around like a chicken with their head cut off and they need this too, share this. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you ladies soon.